The Cronos token is not down because the general crypto market is bleeding. It's down because something way more problematic. The Trump family is supporting crypto and Cronos specifically, but they had to mark down unrealized losses on their crypto holdings. 1.5 months ago, the chief marketing officer of Crypto.com stepped down. But suddenly we get the news that Truth Social, so a company by the Trump family, is trying to list a Cronos staking fund. So is that potentially an opportunity? Because it looks like the Cronos price is getting close to its support. And if it was just to go back to its long-term average price, which is roughly 14 cents, it would appreciate by more than 150%. Hi, my name is Gerhard. I've been in the crypto space for the last 8 years. I hit my first million 3 years ago, and it is mainly through active trading of altcoins. My track record is on the website down below. In the last 2 years, I started to publish my trades in real time. With the current open positions, we are at an all-time high. We have achieved 47% per annum, while the rest of the market went down. The current open positions are, of course, available to the premium members, but all closed positions, they are also updated here in real time on the website down below. I don't think many other people in the crypto space are willing to be as transparent with their track record. Now here's the CEO of Crypto.com. And 1 year ago, there was a vote and the crypto community did not like the outcome of that vote. In 2021, 70% of Cronos supply got burned. But then 1 year ago, through a community vote, those tokens got reminted again. Now 87% of voters opposed that reminting. But a few hours before closing of the vote, a few large validators that were directly linked with Crypto.com, they voted pro. So they basically overruled the community's decision. And so then the CEO of Crypto.com said that this will all be good for the price development of CRO. History tells us otherwise, though. By the way, if you are on X as well, formerly known as Twitter, then feel free to also follow this account over here. So this channel has a Twitter account. Make sure that you follow the right channel though. So that's at Bitcoin Strat. Please do not follow any fake account. Now what we've got over here, that's the Cronos price relative to the rest of the altcoin market. So we're dividing Cronos by others. Others is the market cap of all the altcoins that are not in the top 10, and Cronos is one of those altcoins. We could make the argument that every now and then the price shoots up very quickly on positive news. And when that does not happen, it tends to bleed. Now, the potential risk to reward does not look that bad. Maybe a 3x from here in the best case, and maybe a 12% decline in the worst case. But we don't know if we're actually going to exactly bottom out, because in the past, those bottoms tended to be lower from one sell-off to the next. Recently, year to date, the Bitcoin price was struggling more than the altcoin market. So Cronos was actually able to outperform over the last 12 months. This is now Cronos relative to Bitcoin. Will that outperformance last, or will we see another pump and dump? Now we have to look at the long-term tokenomics, as in how many new tokens will be issued. There's a good chance that the scheduled unlocks and the vesting will push up the CRO supply by 32%. 1 year from now. Now that is massive, given the market cap is currently $2.6 billion, right? So we've got several hundred millions of dollars that will get unlocked. Now, many altcoins have token dilution, and the token dilution isn't necessarily a problem if the project grows quickly enough. For example, Hyperliquid, the Hype token, also has very aggressive unlocks, yet the price can outperform because everybody uses Hyperliquid. It's dominating, in this case, the perpetual futures industry. But Cronos has nothing that it's dominating. It's just another proof of stake centralized exchange token, very comparable to BNB. And the usage of the blockchain, unfortunately, is not growing. It peaked at $3 billion at the height of DeFi summer, and since then went down to less than $300 million. So a drop of more than 90% in the capital that's on the chain. Now the stablecoin market cap on chain is not going down. This is positive. But it doesn't look like this is organic natural growth. This was a few large players depositing. Here is the app revenue on the Cronos chain over time. Again, not necessarily an encouraging picture, as in there's no long-term growth. And so we have to differentiate here, right, between the long-term and the short-term. For the short term, we do have potential asymmetric return, as in the downside historically might not be that high, and we might potentially 3x if we see, say, another short squeeze, if we see positive news. The long term is a bit more problematic because we don't see adoption of the technology while there's a lot of token inflation. But is there maybe a short-term trade here? Should we buy for this potential low risk, high reward play? Now, what needs to happen for the bull case? In the last 24 hours, we had 8 million worth of trading volume on the perpetual futures market. Compare that to the spot volume. Here we only had 4 million. So it's best if we see leverage entering the asset. Have a look at the trading volume on the perpetual futures over time. When that goes up, then the price tends to go up as well. When that's low, then the price tends to deflate. Here is the open interest, so how many bets are currently made on the perpetual futures. That's also a measure of how much inherent leverage there is currently in the asset. When this is very high, then of course the price is artificially inflated. When this goes down, then the price will get dragged down with it. So that's why there's this strong correlation between open interest, so the amount of bets on the price, and the price itself. This is just the short-term leverage. So really what needs to happen for a CRO to rally again is an expansion of short-term leverage. The leverage has to go up from 20 million to 150 million again. Right now though, the price tends to trend down. So it's mainly the longs, the people that bet on rising prices, that get liquidated. Now, I don't trade based on feelings. I like to trade based on static rules. Rules that historically worked well for a particular asset. So I run backtests, I run simulations of buying and selling an asset to try to determine what is the best trading rule for that asset. And so I did the same for the CRO token. This comes from Bitcoin Strategy Analytics, the backtesting platform of this channel. We are backtesting Cronos. We go long and short, so we bet on both directions without any leverage at all. And we're just looking at the best slow moving average plus fast moving average. So we are determining here the best golden and best death cross. What's the best trading signal to trade CRO? And the result is in this chart. It's over here. The best combination is the 6-day plus 38-day simple moving average. That's historically what produced the best results. And here is how well this performed. At the bottom, we've got the portfolio value in US dollars. At the top, we've got the Cronos price. And so that's then how that looks like today. The 6-day SMA is below the 38-day SMA. So we should still rather be cautious. We should rather bet on falling prices than on rising prices. In other words, going against the current momentum is probably a bit dangerous. We might want to wait until the decline slows down. That's historically what worked best. We want to get our golden cross and then we enter. And then when the death cross appears, we might want to exit again. This is historically the best market timing for the Cronos token, the 6-day SMA plus the 38-day SMA. So when the price decline cannot stabilize, when we are still going down day after day, it's better to rather be cautious. And yes, this trading strategy is not perfect. We do have our fake outs, but that's why we run the backtest, right? It's not obvious what works best. But we can clearly see that for Cronos, the 6-day and the 38-day SMA worked extremely well in the past. And so touching the asset and being positioned against this signal is probably not a good idea. Yes, we don't necessarily have to blindly follow the trades, but at least it probably makes no sense to enter now until we get our golden cross, because that's early enough to still take advantage of future rallies. And so that's why the track record looks the way it does, right? We are using always back-tested strategies that historically worked. We figure out what are the best moving averages, and then we check, should we go long? Should we go short? Here we had Lunar Classic. After a rally, we got a death cross, and then subsequently we closed that position once we got the golden cross. So all of those signals, they are announced in Telegram. They can also be sent via email. But instead of asking you now to sign up for premium, even though there's a 7-day money back guarantee, I've got something new. So one of the trades that are currently open for the premium members is now being sent for free to everybody. You just leave your email address over here and I will send you one of my most profitable trades that are currently running. You will also get a premium tutorial video explaining how to set up that trade. So the link to that free premium trade is down below. It's in the pinned comment. And once you made some money with that, then you can of course consider to reinvest those gains to then get all of the positions. So to sum up, Cronos is a dangerous long-term investment because the technology is not getting used while the token inflation is very high. There is the potential for an asymmetric bet where we hope that we get another rally caused by the entrance of new leverage, but it's best to wait with such a contrarian bet until the 6-day simple moving average has crossed the 38-day simple moving average. The backtest is just too good. It just traded the asset flawlessly in the past. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. So see you next time. Cheers.